Hello, welcome back. Now let's talk about modules, attributes, and introspection. Let me quickly rename it. And module attributes and introspection. Let's import the module, sorry, math. Okay, this loads Python's built-in math module into memory. A module, as I mentioned several times, is simply a file containing Python code such as functions, variables, constants, classes. The math module contains mathematical function, constants, and so many other things is math dot square root, math dot sine function, math dot phi. If you don't import the module and if you write if you're going to find the square root of a number, it will not work. It will give you an error, and I want you to try that. Let's discuss special module attributes. You can check it for any module that you import. Okay, now I am importing the module math, so I'm going to check, I'm going to see, observe, understand the special module attributes for the module math. Every module in Python automatically gets a special attribute called name. Let me just quickly write it for you. Print math dot name. Now if I run it, you could see that I get the name of the module. So what does if you're gonna write, when you write slash name with the module, you're gonna get the name of the module, which is math. Now if you want to access module documentation, all you need to do is friend math.doc. Okay, and if you are interested, then slice it. This module provides access to the mathematical. Every module function class can contain documentation. Python stores it in dot /doc /hyphen. It returns a long string describing the module, and this is slicing. We call it slicing, and we already discussed it in list. It gives the character from index 0 to 49. So this prints only the first 50 characters. Without slicing, the full documentation would be print, and it will be too long. Now if I run it, you can see that this module provides access to the mathematical function. Now if you want to access to the path, the place where the module is, all you need to do is friend and math dot file. Now you can see that you get this error because math is a built-in module. It doesn't have the py at the end. So for this function, uh, for this to work, you need to have a module which has the py at the end. So let me just quickly create a new module. Okay, gh, let's call it gh. Okay, and let's just quickly write something here. Print x. Okay, Now let me just import that module. Import gh. Okay, the module has been imported. Now if it has to work, let me just write gh here, and now let me run. Now you could see that the path of the module is being generated, it is produced here. Okay, so you can use this, and it is quite fun because sometimes you need to find the path of the module. You can also do it with other methods, you can copy the path from here, but this is just for understanding. Now let me show you something else. Print and dir. Okay, it has to be inside print dir math, and let me slice it. Slice 0 to 8. So dir, it lists all attributes inside an object for modules, function, constants, metadata, and so much. Now you can see that if I run it, you will see everything is from 0 to 8, the index given has been displayed. And we need the slicing because to avoid printing hundreds of items, so that's why only the first 8 are shown. And you can also use this function health, can use it, and it will show you full documentation. Shows full documentation. I'll just type for you and just try it for yourself. And all controls what gets imported when using, so you also need to keep it in your mind. You can also use vars print. It returns the namespace of an object is a dictionary. So let me show you print and list, and then vars math dot items, and we also need to slice it so we don't get a huge output. Run it, you can see below that it is in the form of a dictionary. And items returns a special view object, and convert makes it convert to list makes it easier to display, and the slice is used to avoid huge output. So a namespace is basically a mapping of names to objects. Now has attribute checks if attribute exists or not. This is also very interesting. Check if attribute exists before using it. If attribute math, let's say tau. Okay, now let me just print it. Print made the tau, but let me just also put it in clone so that it looks clean and neat. Okay, and let's just run it to see. You can see that tau is 6.283. These are all modules, attributes, and introspection. And it is very useful to avoid crashes. And sometimes, if attribute doesn't exist, you may get an error. So some mathematicians prefer t over pi because full circle is, pi radians, something like that. Cleaner formulas. Math.tau is a constant stored in module like math.pi, math.e, and so many others. There is one last attribute that I want to discuss with you. That is get attribute, and it dynamically retrieves attributes, and it is also very interesting. Let me just quickly write it for you. Let me just write a variable and get attribute. Okay, inside let me just write imaginary constant, and let me just put it not found. Now print. Okay, since the default module doesn't have the attribute imaginary constant, so what we are gonna get not found. You can see here not found. Okay, but if it has uh, an attribute named imaginary constant, then output will be displayed. So instead of crashing with attribute error, Python returns the fallback value not found. And it is the structure. You need to remember the structure for it. Get attribute. Okay, it is an object. It is a name, and it is a default. Okay, now let me just give you quickly another example. Friend. Okay, and get attribute phi and not found. Now if the value of pi exists, okay, if it is a part of the math module, then the value of phi will be displayed. But if phi is not a part of the module math, then it will not be displayed. Okay, you will get not found. But if the value exists, you will get the value of pi. So you can see that pi exists, so 3.14. But in the upper case, we don't have such a thing as imaginary constant in the module, so we get the output not found. Now if I change it to okay, let me just copy it. Let me just change the name. Okay, now you can see that you'll get print. I forget the p. Now you can see that not found. So I hope it is clear.